Hello guys and welcome back to another Nordic Takedown YouTube video. Today I'm super excited to have Niklas with me here. Welcome.
Hello.
And you might be wondering why he is on, and that's because he is the Copenhagen PQ winner. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Super excited to hear more about your deck choice and how it went for you. But first, we're gonna quickly just talk about the tournament for the people who don't know about it. First of all, if you wanna see more, check out the live stream. Victor and Jason did a really good job streaming the event remotely, while Adam and I were there playing. So first, we have some pictures to show. This is the venue at Faro Cigar in Copenhagen. We had a streaming table, as I said. Here's round one. And these were the top 16. And then we have Niklas and I here in the top 8. And lastly, we wanted to show just a bit of the meta. So the most represented leader was actually Cad Bane. Kind of funny with Copenhagen being the home of Cad Bane Blue. So we of course had our two friends, Jonas and Steven. And a third one, a friend of them, I don't remember his name, but he's a really nice guy too. And some Tarkentown and ECL Cad Banes. So this heat map was actually created while the tournament was ongoing, so I believe some are missing, for instance a Ray Green and a Ray Tarkentown. But yeah, the Sabine ECL is the most represented leader.
I think now that the first row is the first row is that one because it says Tarkentown above above Anakin, so that's probably
that's Ray,
and that's Green and Tarkentown. So
yeah, perfect. Nice for picking that up. So we see ECL being the most represented base, maybe a lot more ECL decks than I expected, and of course we see Django Tarkentown and Quinland as well, and then a lot of Han Yellow. But moving on, if you want to know a bit more about how it went, this is from Adam's YouTube video, also on the channel, where we presented the top 8. You guys probably think, oh Jonah, you're such a poor host, why are you not letting Niklas talk? Don't worry, we're gonna get to it very soon. This is just to wrap up how the tournament went, and you can see of course Niklas on top here. I also made it to the final, sadly lost, but it was still a fun game. And then we had Han, Cad Bane top 4, and Sabine, Bossk, Yoda, and Cad Bane in the top 8. So now finally, today I'm gonna do more like an interview. So I'm gonna let you do the talking after this, Niklas. First, we're gonna talk about who's Niklas, and then why Bossk. Like Bossk Green has been around for a longer time, but kind of had its rise to fame now recently. And then dive into the list and talk a bit about how it went and if it was as expected, the meta and the games, so forth. And lastly, we have some Discord questions from the community. So join the Discord if you're not already there. So then, Niklas, do you want to say a bit about yourself? Where are you from? Why are you playing Star Wars?
Yeah, I'm playing Star Wars because it's fun. New food too, if you're not. And I'm from Stockholm, Sweden. I started playing Star Wars during set 2. So I'm not played from the beginning. I missed the glory days of set 1 Star Wars, but Bossk wasn't printed, so what can I say? Yeah. What was it in it? And I got started through a mutual friend named Caleb, who I play Magic with, and he was like, you can start playing this, and he sent me a green Bossk list, but that was ECL, and
so it was actually your first deck ever?
Yeah, it was my first deck.
Damn.
So I played. So my first big tournament was the Malmö Game Week, where I got top 8. So that was pretty nice with the ECL Bossk. And then it was only downhill until now. But now I made it better than top 8,
Nice.
thankfully.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
remind me, you played at the previous PQ as well.
Yeah, exactly. I played Sabine SL.
Okay.
I went 0-2 in the beginning, and then I played a bunch of kids and stuff, so I went 3-3, I think.
Yeah.
So I can't take much credit from that one.
Yeah. But you say you're local to Stockholm, so you play
Yeah,
the
I
weeklies
play
there,
at
and
yeah, exactly, at Dragon's Lair, and then we have a few tournaments at another store called Alpha Spel, but they don't have weekly pay
yeah,
yet.
yeah.
Hopefully.
And so you're originally a Magic player, but
Yeah, of course.
how did Caleb manage
Originally,
to
yeah. So
convince you
originally,
over?
I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player,
Oh,
but then I got older. Magic enticed me, and then I got a little bored. Then Corona hit, so I quit during Corona, and then got back into it. And then I got bored again, and then this time no global pandemic, but Star Wars Unlimited.
nice.
So that's something.
Yeah. Okay. On the topic of Star Wars Unlimited, let's look at this boss screen list. I think that's why people are here, to hear your thoughts and how you managed to take down the 50-player PQ.
Yeah. So the list was based on a PQ list from Toulouse from the weekend before. So it's 49, the same car main deck. I changed. He played one pillage, where I play my third open fire instead, because I wanted some more early removal, and I felt that pillage wasn't super good.
Yeah.
I get it for control matchups, but I think you can grind them out. So I would rather have an open fire for the more mid game
Yeah.
or early decks.
Makes sense. I really, really like Open Fire. I think it's
Yeah,
an underplayed
the
card.
fire is like my favorite card in the Bossk, I think.
Yeah.
And then the sideboard, I changed up like half the sideboard. Some cards are still there, but I wanted more late game stuff, so I put in like Palpatine's Return, Relentless, added one extra Yularen and one Traitorous also.
Okay.
But mostly it's based from this French guy, I think.
Yeah.
French tournament at least.
Cool. So for the people at home who have never played against Boss Green or haven't tried the list themselves, what is kind of the game plan here?
You want to ramp, so get more resources than your opponent, and then just bully them into submission by playing big stuff while they're trying to figure out how I cost 9 cost cards when they can only cast 5 cards.
Yeah.
5 cost cards.
I've been on the back end of that bullying.
Yep,
But
you
more
can
on
watch
that
the
after.
finals if you want
No,
to see
don't,
more
don't,
about.
no. Yeah, you can. And Niklas and I actually have planned to maybe watch back our games. We played both in Swiss and in final. Would be really fun to kind of give some commentary about when we played and actually our reasoning behind some decisions, good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so stick around for that. Okay, yeah.
So
So
Swiss
this is like
part
a
for my mistakes and the finals for your mistakes. Basically.
exactly. At least you learned, and I just
Yeah,
made it
exactly.
worse. No, back to the lists, and so you said it's ramp. You just want to play these big units, but of course the bounties are really good because of the pinging and double claiming.
Yeah, exactly. So the bounties are also Bossk has a really good ability for stalling actions also when that's necessary.
Mm,
And yeah, bounties is like the only deck that at least plays 9 ramp spells instead of just the regular 6 of because you get the extra bounty and
yeah,
yeah, a good way to kill them also with Bossk's ability.
yeah, that's very cool to see those cards being played.
Yeah.
So when you kind of decided on your changes from the list you found, Did you do a lot of playtesting? Were there any matchups you were like testing for going into the PQ?
I was mostly testing I was mostly testing with Sabine, because my testing partner like only plays Sabine. But I tested some against Yellow Villainy, Parking Town, Dexcad, and Yango. And those were a bit more uneven, but I felt like, the open fire was needed, and I feel pretty comfortable going in against control, so I don't think I needed that extra pillage. But I tested mostly with the PQ list from Toulouse, but then changed open fire mostly in the main deck.
Yeah, interesting. So you said you test a lot of Sabine. I think in general, when people see a deck with such a high curve as this, they would think, "Oh, okay, Sabine would just run this deck over." But you're on the opposite meaning, right?
I want. In my head, I'm like, I can't be a good matchup, but Kevin, who's my testing partner and also a pretty successful player, not as successful as me, no, he's kidding. But he tells me that like it's one of his worst matchups, so I have to take his word for it. And it's also shown in our playtesting that it's like 60-40 for both.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And what is it that make you that comfortable in the matchup?
Yeah, it's just you have a lot of early removal. You can have those really crazy starts with Dengar and Bounty on the Quarry, where you can almost like kill their first drop almost free. But it's also the Sabine matchup is also the reason why I play the 30 base and not the ECL.
Yeah.
Like for every other matchup, I would like the ECL version more, I think. But I think you really need that 5 extra HP against Sabine.
And that's another topic I wanted to touch about, because you said you started with the ECL version, and a lot of people play ECL. We even saw 2 ECL Bosks at the PQ. But would you say there's a lot of differences to the lists? Is there something you're missing from ECL that you would like to have, or do you just prefer this one?
I prefer the ECL one, I think, or I think that's funnier at least, or more fun to play, and this might be a little bit better. So my like favorite card in ECL, I don't even play in this because it's the IG11 and the 5 drop that deals 3 damage on attack to another damaged unit. But without ECL, it's practically unplayable.
Yeah.
So, but you play more of like the ambush guys, Darth Vader and Maul. I think I played 4 of them combined in the ECL version because you have like earlier ambush dudes from ECL.
Yeah, makes sense. Cool. So I have some questions about your top end cards here. 2 Palpatines, 2 Crates, and 1 Devastator. Like when I think of Bossk Ramp, I always think of the early Crate. Is there any reason you don't have the 3rd, either in main or in sideboard?
Like, it's good. I agree with that, but I often feel like it's enough with 2.
Yeah.
I used to play a 3 for a long time with 1 in the sideboard and 2 in the main deck, and I often sided it in, but I was like, it wasn't really that necessary for the crit matchups. And Palpatine is really good for like against the space decks. So because you have a little bit of a problem dealing with the space, and the Devastator is a Sentinel in space. That's also a 10/10. So it like if you get that out, it's practically impossible to hit me again.
And then you also have the Relentless in the side, which can sometimes be even more useful than Crate, right? Soaking up 2 cards instead of just 1.
Yeah, in the finals for this, I took a turn just playing that to get your removers out of your hand, so you could so I could play the Crate Dragon the next turn.
Yeah.
Just to set it up.
Yeah.
But I also think that since Crate have a problem with dealing with space, like so it's not super well, and I was mostly afraid of like Yango, Tarkentown and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I shifted it a bit.
Yeah. All right, then last question, I think, before we move on to how your games went, and that's I'm a bit curious about the Salacious Crumbs because I've seen them in like Palpatine and some other green villainy lists, but what's the idea in Bossk?
Heal. No, but it's heal, and then it's a good hit of Darth Vader. It makes it so that you can more easily hit like two things of Darth Vader, and it's often like the healing comes in, and it's also I love to action stall, and it's like such a good card to action stall.
Yeah,
You can play it and bounce it, and okay, not the same term, but you can
yeah,
bounce it and then play it.
yeah,
So it has multi-purpose, and it's a one drop. So for like the blue villainy decks, you can often like play it before your big stuff, so you won't get as punished by like power or merciless.
that's cool. And I guess it also kind of works on turn one, right? With Bounty Hunter's
Yeah,
Quarry,
exactly.
and then you have
Yeah,
some more pinging tools. Seems
exactly.
pretty smart. Nice. Okay, let's move on to how it went. So you went, what was it, 4-2 in Swiss?
Yeah, 4-2 in Swiss.
So
Exactly. Got into it seventh place.
how were the games? As expected?
So no, I did not expect to win this entire tournament. But now I'm here. After I won the whole thing. But it was. I faced like every bit of the meta. It feels like also because in the first round I faced on yellow, and then I faced a few different. I played the famous Cad Bane blue from the Danish crew, and I faced Iden blue, and I faced you. So I feel like I got a bit of everything
Yeah.
under my belt, even Yango, where I met the guy who got to the finals in the last PQ.
Yeah, Morten.
Uh, yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So yeah, it didn't go as expected, but it was a happy surprise that it didn't.
That's great. And I'm a bit curious, were there any games you won that you didn't expect to win in Swiss, or the opposite way, the two losses you had?
Yeah, I didn't really expect to win as easily as I did against Yango. So I got, yeah, I had the lucky draw and just could outrace him.
Yeah.
But usually that is a really tough nail biter.
Yeah.
And then I lost against you in Swiss. I started learning the matchups more after, so it was a good loss for me to have.
Mm.
And then I I lost against Caleb also, that played
Yeah.
Yoda Red, where he got. I had like a good Dengar opening. I could kill on turn one. He's one drop, and he still won with "You're My Only Hope"
Ooh.
twice. First boss, no, first Poe, and then into Anakin. So that was pretty devastating.
Damn. But
But
so did he just like randomly hit it, or did
oh
he do
no,
it on
it
top?
was
Okay.
all
Okay.
planned. So he hit it on turn three. He got the Poe, so only one turn
Yeah.
earlier, and then the next turn after he got the Luke. So it was like
Ooh.
Poe, and I had a hard time dealing with it, and then a Luke.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
it
I
pretty
feel
much
like
settled.
that's so crucial, getting a pretty big unit on the board before Bossk deploys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Yoda is really good at that. That's why I think like that and Anakin, they're both like similar decks, but Yoda has that ability to like feed a
Yeah.
Poe into player and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's also kind of what we experienced, is that if you get to resupply, then Anakin has nothing that can take
Yeah.
Bossk. Yeah.
You can see that in the finals. not in the one where we met
Yeah.
during Switch.
Okay, so then we can just quickly go through your top 8 games.
Mm. So in the top 8, I faced Kevin, the one playtest partner,
Yeah.
who played Sabine. I had I won game 1 through, like, I think I was at like 28. He pinged me, and then I won that turn. So really on the edge.
Yeah.
A few scrums really carried me. And
Nice.
then the second game, I was not respecting his play, and passed my first turn because I thought he would ping. But I've learned when it comes to Kevin, you gotta respect him. But since it's Kevin, I will never respect him. So that's the problem. And then game 3, I got a really off to a good start with Dengar and double bounties, so I could like clear his entire turn 2 board of a Fleet
Damn.
Lieutenant and Battlefield Marine.
That's really
And then
solid.
it was pretty much over. Yeah,
So for the people interested in the aggro matchups, I guess you have some cards there for in the sideboard.
exactly. I take in Yularen and also Black Sun often.
Yeah.
And Traitors is really good on against Castian mostly.
Oh,
You can also take it in against like tactics and stuff. But
nice.
mostly for Castian.
That's cool.
And
Okay.
then in top 4, I faced Cad Parkintown.
Yeah.
So really nice guy. I don't remember his
Yeah,
name.
Sebastian.
Bastian. I really hope he wins the Stockholm PQ now. Really nice guy. I got his hometown and he can have my hometown. That's what we
Yeah.
decided on.
Yeah. That's
Where I just got, I got to ramp and do my stuff, and he couldn't really answer it.
yeah.
Couldn't really raise me down before I, yeah, cleaned up.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess the way for Cad Bane maybe to have a chance is if they get to kind of research cheat as well. With now there's 2 of them and
yeah, exactly.
stuff like that.
And I had uh, technician in both games, so he could like never ping.
Yeah.
So that like shut off the whole ability
Yeah.
of CAD.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Any cards? I mean, you already mentioned the ramp was good. Any other cards that stood out in the matchup?
Um, Overwhelming Barrage is always good. What can
Yeah,
I say? It's Green Villainy.
one of the best.
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, Open Fire was pretty good. Yeah, to be able to take like a 4 Lomer and stuff is
Yeah.
pretty good. I don't really remember if I did it, but maybe
Yeah.
you can watch
Yeah.
and see if I did it
Because
and
that
comment.
game was also on stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So my top 4 and finals were out in stream.
Yeah.
And then in the finals, I met Anakin Blue player. I don't know if you know the guy, but yeah,
Who plays that
he
deck?
was pretty good at least.
And yeah, we can take a couple of minutes about that matchup. I was really surprised when you had the smuggle tank. That's
Yeah,
useful when you get discarded.
yeah, exactly. So the smuggle tank is like the card. Everyone was like, you have to cut this card. But I was like, but come on, no one's expected a bad smuggle tank. So I played it. It wasn't the best card. It wasn't the worst card.
Yeah.
It was easy to side out. Uh, but sometimes, and for the discard heavy matchups, it's good to have like
Yes.
a a guy in the resources.
Yeah. And I also wanted to ask you, have you considered to play tech?
Oh, I love tech. Like I used to
Because
play tech in all my Bossk decks,
yeah.
and this would probably be that spot, because tech is like my favorite card of Star Wars Unlimited.
Nice.
So yeah, I considered it, and it
Yeah.
was a really close cut if this was gonna be a tech,
Yeah.
but I don't think we brought the tech. with us to Denmark.
Yeah.
So that might have been the reason. But I love the Sentinel. It's not that we forgot the tech. That was
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
I love the Sentinel. So,
And I feel like in
yeah,
some grindy matchups, it can even be worth to like smuggle in tech for 6. Like you don't have to
yeah,
cheat it out
exactly.
with bounty underscore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like when what you said, like I ramp, you discard my hand,
Yeah.
and I can like here's a tech,
Yeah.
and it's about
And
okay
next
now.
turn, here's a
Yeah,
Ruthless Raider for 8.
exactly. Easy. Or a Crate Dragon for 11 if we're really dreaming. But
Yeah. I mean, you managed to use Timely on Crate Dragon against me, so there's probably 10 or 11 resources there.
yeah, you don't have the time for you to play stuff. I want to deal damage with crates.
Oh yeah.
Right away.
Okay, so just summing up there on the Anakin Bossk matchup, I feel like the ramp was kind of the key. Like the
Yeah,
games you
of
resupplied,
course.
they were such a big difference. And
Yeah, in the final game of the finals, I got also price on your head double claimed
yeah,
when I flipped the Bossk, and that was like I remember, not to bring up bad memories, but you were like, okay, now this is over. I
yeah,
can't do anything,
yeah,
and so that's practically how that feels.
yeah.
Uh,
And I guess Anakin, you probably just want more top end, right, from your sideboard.
yeah, exactly. Palpatine's return is really good.
Yeah,
Since you can play the stuff you discarded.
yeah,
And it also cheats some of the Jedi's or
yeah.
Force usage.
Mm.
That's pretty good. Um, we had a really fun thing happen when we met in Swiss, where you had Regional Governor and calling my Darth Vader, and my last 2 cards I drew were 2 Darth Vaders. That
Yeah.
that is one of my most memorable plays of the weekend, or your memorable plays that I remember.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And of course, me seeing the bounty underscore in your glasses.
Yeah. Peter. All right.
Yeah, listeners of the pod will cherish that reference.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think at the interest of time, we will sum up and go to the last slide, the Discord questions. Join the Discord if you want to chat more with Niklas and I about Copenhagen PQ. But Nikiva was asking where the googly eyes are. Oh, I lost you there.
Yeah. So before I had a showcase, that was from. So we got boxes, or Kevin got boxes in the last PQ in Denmark where we pulled the Bossk. So that's the Bossk I'm playing. But before that, I had a sleeve with googly eyes. So it was googly eyes. So when I flipped Bossk, he had googly eyes. But I learned today when I asked Kevin for a picture of them that he threw it away like a couple of weeks ago. So no more
That would have been
googly
worth
eyes.
so much after this YouTube video, the
Yeah,
famous googly Bossk.
yeah, really
But I
sad.
guess getting the showcase is what helped you win. So
Yeah, exactly.
start with googly eyes and then showcase if you can.
Yeah, googly eyes to showcase.
Okay, and then we have 2 more questions. First, what your opinion is of the best Sabine player in Sweden? I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah. So the meme is that it's Kevin, because there's a I forgot his name. But the guy on your pod, he like
Adam
name dropped him.
Jason?
Yeah, no, not Adam.
Victor?
From Uppsala. Yeah, exactly. Victor, like put it in a Discord. Like
Yeah.
Kevin is probably the best Sabine in Sweden. So that's what the whole
That's
thing
the
is
meme.
about. So Kevin is the best, or not, but you will be the judge of that.
Yeah, let's see if he can reclaim his title at the Stockholm PQ. And that
Yeah.
brings us to the final question, also from Scarecrow on Discord. What would you say the best 3 picks are for decks for the Stockholm PQ, since you have some insights on the local meta?
Yeah, I feel like Bossk Blue is pretty good in the Stockholm meta, and as a big fan of the Anakin, your Anakin deck, and also the Yoda Red. I kind of clumped those two together because they're very like same deck, but Yoda has the cheat ability and Anakin has the I trade really well into your creature's ability. So those two are good, but the Nordic takedown version of Anakin, not the American Anakin, if you're just wondering. This is not fired against the American Anakin. But the Nordic takedown one, say that.
Oh, so flattered.
And then the last deck, probably if you want to play some aggro, maybe Yango or Sabine or something, depending on your playstyle. So one control deck, one mid range, and one aggro deck.
So anything works. Just know what you're bringing, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for us today. Wrapping up 30 minutes now. Stay tuned, and we're gonna see when we have time to maybe re-record some commentary for our games. That would be really fun.
Yeah.
And let us know in the comments if you want some more PQ coverage. Then thanks for joining us, Niklas, and then hope to see you around.
Yeah, see you around.
Bye bye.